My guitar went way out of tune. we were rolling with that one. I think. Yeah, there it is. I was like, we'll have to see how this goes. There we go. Now we're good to go. It was a matter of time. Oh man, that's funny. That's how you make it. Yeah, an out of tune entrance. All right. What is up, everybody? I'm just trying to see what everybody the chat is. Sorry, the chat is booking on by right now. Scott didn't hillbilly guy. Jam it, son. Thank you. Jeez, I know, right? I haven't had issues with this guitar, honestly, but today it's kind of hot in here right now. So it's a little bit warm. First the cam, now the custom. You truly have a couple of amazing Les Pauls. And as always, play them amazing. Oh, well, thank you very much, Steve. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I don't want to miss anyone. Hey, Ron Paget. Preston Smith. Look at all these guys. Scooby Stapp. So you got Hillbilly Guy. Tony, what's up, buddy? I love the custom. Yeah, I've wanted a custom for a long time. Some of you guys can probably remember me talking about getting a custom. Oh man, a couple years ago, maybe. Been a while. Oh, Sky Denton, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, some Heartbreaker. Unfortunately, the switch went out. Actually, while I was shooting the story of the guitar, so I don't have a neck pickup working right now. So unfortunately, you have to hear Heartbreaker on the bridge, not that middle position. There you go. Got the coolest wife. Oh, do you think? You know, I won't argue with you. She is the coolest wife. We are working on the next guitar. Believe it or not, we've both made a conscious effort, and thankfully, you know, probably, you know, being honest, probably more on her side even than mine, about continuing to try to track down guitars and find the story of them. Like she likes to research all this stuff, and she knows way more about vintage guitars than I do. So she loves to research stuff, and we, like I said, we both kind of agreed, like, well, maybe we'll like pursue this a little bit. Like I think it's a cool little, you know, kind of like branch for the channel to travel down, because there's a lot of vintage guitar channels who document the guitars, take them apart, do all that kind of stuff. But I haven't seen many. Well, honestly, I haven't seen any, but there probably are some out there, so I don't want to say we're the only one. But there aren't many telling the story of the guitar itself. So we're trying to track down these, like, you know, old guitars that we can find the stories to. I need a Gretsch. I almost bought a Gretsch a while back, before I bought this. So one day we might get a Gretsch. But my buddy Michael Nilsson talked me out of it. Very rare that you have a guitar friend talk you out of a guitar. But now I'm thankful that he did, because the money went to this. Sam. when she starts researching, does she yell nerd? No, because she's usually like, I'm probably more nerdy, but she likes to like go, you're my fave Robert Baker guitar. Well, look at that, man. Of all the Robert Baker guitar channels out there, I am Landon's favorite. I hope everyone. Hey, Scott, I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing well too, man. Can you talk to my wife? Yeah, it's like we'll have to see. There's another guitar. I'm gonna get to borrow it for a little bit that we might get. So like I said, we'll have to see how it goes. It's one of those things that I don't know how long we can do it without needing to like sell some of them that we get. SG, man, I do not get along with SGs for some reason. Hello from Memphis. Well, hello there. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Some Zach Wild. If I play Zach Wild, I'm gonna need me some more distortion. Check out the store where you buy Tom's Homeschool and t-shirts. They have some. Yeah, actually, I was looking at that, man. Yep, I was looking at that. We're looking at an old Esquire and another Strat, to be honest, which might seem ridiculous, but I can get a good chunk of the guitar's history in story form. So I think some people might get upset that we're getting all these guitars, but like I said, just the other Strat has inspired this like want to hunt down and document guitars on a different level than what they are typically documented in. Like I said, normally you hear about the guitar and the history of just 57 Strat itself, or a 63 Telecaster. But I love the idea of like, well, this is the story of not only the Strat, not only the Tele, not only the guitar, but the player themselves. So I don't go along with SGs. Would you recommend a Norland era custom? I would, man. I personally really like the Norland era stuff. I've played some that I didn't like. I played a 70s custom not that long ago that I didn't care for. But this one I really like. I was gonna see how much I knocked that G out of tune with that bend. There's a little bit of Zach Wild for you. Portion of Lockdown Shuffle. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, when Shane asked me to do that, I was a little bit apprehensive at first because it's like, well, those are like legit blues players, and I'm like, I don't know anything about playing the blues. I'm just a rock guy who has bluesiness in his playing. And Shane was, he just kind of talked to me. He's like, no, I thought it'd be cool if you just kind of like did your normal thing. I was like, oh, okay. If it doesn't need to be like a legit blues solo, he's like, just do whatever you want. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why it was fun for me to throw in a lot of the stuff that I've been working on because, like I said, I've been watching so much of Tom Bukovac stuff, and the other day he mentioned how it was a while ago. He's talking about this diminished idea that he was doing. So if you listen to my solo, you'll hear it's a mixture of Tom's idea and a George Lynch thing. Because I was already kind of doing something similar to it, but not in the same context that Tom explained it. So when he did, if you listen to my solo, I start out, my solo starts out in B. I do the Zach Wild thing. And whatever I did, I was outlining that 4 chord. And then I walk it down. Oh, because then the key shifts to C. And when it goes back to that 4 chord or 5 chord, I go like this. I go. And I chose the PRS, so I had an extra octave up top. Hey, Steve from Boston, my fellow blues jammer. Should do a buyer's guide video to 70s Les Pauls. Yeah, you know, I might do some of that stuff. You know, certainly with both me and my wife researching a lot of this stuff, we've learned so much about older guitars. But to be honest, I have a few friends who know way more about the stuff than I do. So between Gabby, who's really good at researching the stuff, I consult my buddy Nick. He's an amazing YouTube channel. You should check him out. Nick, and his channel's called The Riff. He does a lot of really cool stuff. But, you know, other than just being an amazing guitar player, he has an amazing amount of knowledge about old guitars. So I was already consulting him about the Strat that we're looking at that could be part of the next series. So awesome. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, I'm using the Axe Effects. Yeah, for live streams, I just use the Axe Effects. You know, and just kind of roll with that. My experience with the Norland era was a bad one. It was just one guitar, 1980 Les Paul standard, Clownburst. Yeah, must have been bad wood or something. It sounded awful. Played awful. Yeah, you know, I've played some good ones and bad ones. You know, I have a couple of good ones, and I've certainly played some bad ones. I will say, yeah, the Cherry Sunburst of the 70s is not my favorite. I'm not saying that they're bad, because, you know, I've seen some people, you know, have them and rock them. But the 70s, I feel like to have a plain top Les Paul, which is, you know, pretty much what you had in the 70s. You just had a bunch of plain tops. Tobacco Burst looks really good plain. Cherry Sunburst, it's almost like you need that flame in there. Got a chance to get a 2020 Les Paul Custom. How do you feel about Gibson QC lately? Opinion has been inspiration since I found your channel. Oh, dude, thank you so much, Hillbilly Guy. No, you know what? I think Gibson stuff has gotten considerably better. And I'm no way affiliated with Gibson by any means, but I feel like the two biggest names, Gibson, Fender. I think it's become like the cool thing to do to hate on Gibson, and so any mistake that they have is like they're just under such a microscope from people. And I'm not saying that they don't do odd things at times and, you know, that kind of thing, but you know, like their quality control has gotten way better, but it just seems like everyone's opinion is like you can't give them credit. It's like you're not allowed to give them credit for some reason. They're like, yeah, their QC still sucks. It's not like, oh, they've gotten a lot better. They're making improvements. Like, it still sucks, you know? So I think it's kind of a rough, you know, spot for them to be in. So does that mean we aren't cool? You know what, man? I think it's safe to say that, at least for me, Sam, you're already cool, dude. But I know that I'll never be cool. Chad, what's up, brother? Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I gotta find some Rolling Rocks. I gotta try them. Cooley. Good vibes your way, Wolverine. Oh, what happened to Wolverine? I'm so sorry to hear the... I'm so sorry if I missed something. I hope everything's okay, Wolverine. I picked up an older LP Studio at my local shop, and it weighed as light as my Ibanez. Oh, wow, that's cool, man. This thing is a boat anchor. I believe Paul was telling me it is like around like 10.8, I think is what he said, which is very similar to how much my KM weighs. So, like I said, these are guitars you sit and play. So the fact that there's all those pictures, and Paul said he primarily stands up and plays, you know, kudos to him for, like, you know, toting this thing around while he was standing. It's a hefty little hunk of wood to have strapped around your shoulder. Some peace of mind. I actually don't know how to play it. It's something like that, right? I know there's, like, I've never learned it. It's just that chord. Oh, your cat passes. I'm so sorry to hear that, Wolverine. All the good vibes headed your way, man. Very sorry to hear that. No worries, Bobby. So this one is a 76. A Norlin era. How much does it weigh? I think there's a little bit of delay, so if I'm repeating myself again, Crystal, I'm sorry. This one, it weighs almost 11. It's 10.8. Eugene's trick bag on a Les Paul. Oh, I can't use the neck pickup. Oh. There you go. How much does that Friedman weigh? It looks huge. Oh, the Friedmans don't weigh much at all. They are, it could just be the angle. That one's a little bit heavy because, you know, it has a Floyd and everything with it, but none of them are heavy at all. Oh, dude, of course, Wolverine. Think it's concrete. I know, right? It weighs, like I said, pretty much as my KM. I don't know where my KM is. It's right there. Pretty much as much as my other Les Paul weighs. My gold top, which is back there, is considerably lighter. I think that the gold top is probably around, probably in the 8s. Like, it's noticeably lighter than my KM and then the custom. I sadly don't know you could be mine. I don't know many GNR things, if I'm being honest. Oh, sorry, the Friedman amp. Friedman amp is incredibly heavy. Sorry, I thought you meant the guitar. Yeah, the Friedman amp is very heavy. You know what's funny? So the Friedman amp, how do I point to it? There, is that it? Nope, my hand's going the wrong way. It's so weird pointing to something. It's a 50 watt amp, and the Marshall is a 50 watt amp. I think the Friedman is like 3 of that amp. Like 3 times as heavy. Did I finalize the name? Yeah, no, we have a name for it. So, you know, it kind of has 2 names. The main name that I'm going to call this guitar is Mama Whiskey. So I like that name. Someone suggested the name Whiskey. And I started to say something and I like stuttered over my worms. Look, there it is. Words. And I said something Mama Whiskey. And I was like, oh, Mama Whiskey. But then it's also called Paula, after Paul, and then Marie, which is my wife's middle name. So Paula Marie. I like how I was explaining a sentence about stumbling over my words, and in that sentence, I stumbled over my words. Blues Jams. Oh, thank you, man. You build the Friedmans? Oh, that's cool. Where am I? Midwest, my man. I'm your typical Midwest guy. The 63 Strat's name is Blondie. Blondie Pete, to be exact. When are you gonna throw some new strings in there? Yeah, I need to do it soon because they said these are top wrapped, and I've just left them the way that they are. Oh, Wolverine, thank you so much, man. No need to super chat, dude. I appreciate you hanging out with us, and like I said, we wish you all the best with all that stuff. That's never an easy thing to do, man. So thank you, though, buddy. All my guitars have a name. A lot of my guitars have a name. Quite a few of them. I like naming them. Some people think it's silly, or we'll post dumb comments about it, but to me, it's just another layer of kind of like, I'm just fun. Like, I just like naming them. I never understand when people need to be so like hypercritical about someone else's actions. Like, someone was super upset that I referred to the guitars as being female. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not meaning that or saying that in a disrespectful way. I've just always given guitars female names. That's just, probably because all the names I ever heard, they were given females. And it's meant in like a, term of endearment kind of situation. The guitars are beautiful, so I thought it was funny that someone got so upset that I did that. I'm just like, I've never heard someone name their guitar and me just get like, so ticked off and mad and just like, I can't stand this guy. Who's that girl? Oh man. There, that's the word I'm looking for. Personal. It adds like a personal layer to the guitar. So yeah, it's personalized. Some people like to change the knobs on the guitar, or the tuners, and all that stuff. I like to name guitars. It's just fun. It's fun to find the right name for it. And I think that Mama Whiskey, a.k.a. Paula Marie, is the name for this guitar. Wow, Pablo, I don't even know how to say that. But welcome. BB King had Lucille. Exactly. All your guitars have always been female names. Yeah, like I've never, like I said, I never viewed it as being anything disrespectful or any of that stuff. I subscribe to your rock and roll boot camp. Can't wait to get stuck into it. I hope it does improve your playing. Oh, dude, I hope so. And thank you for subscribing to that. I'm not sure how recently you subscribed to it, but like I said, we just did the first ever live clinic today. So actually next week, now that we've done a live clinic, I forget, literally today has just been like live stream day for me, because I did an hour and a half this morning for the clinic. I did the pre-show at 11:30, and then this live stream usually goes for a couple hours. But I thought I saw another comment from, who's that girl? But so next week I'll be announcing the first like public live clinic that you can join into. It's not free; it's something you do have to pay for. But I did it today, and I thought it went really, really well. A couple of areas I want to tweak to make it even better. But that'll be next week, so just kind of, stay tuned. I'm not going to make a video about it, but I might mention it in comments, and I'll post on the community page and send out an email. But it will be limited to 50 people, though. Do you have high regards for Japanese Squire strats? I've heard really good things about the Japanese ones, because I don't think they make them anymore, if I remember correctly. But isn't what happened, like, they made them, and they came over here with them, and they were so good that Fender was kind of like, oh, we can't sell these, like, they're too good. And I think they basically ended up putting the Fender name on it instead of Squire. Did you make a video of today? I'm not sure what you mean. Of the clinic? Yeah, that was all live streamed. There was a live clinic, and that is available if you're in the Rock and Roll Bootcamp. I have a little tab called Live Clinic, and you can view the stream however you want to. I'm going to put timestamps in there later. They're not in there just yet, but that way you can jump around if you want to. And there's tabs and all that stuff. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm excited to do the next one, So I think the first clinic that we're going to do next week is going to be the power of the major third. And we're going to have a bunch of ideas about utilizing the major third in minor situations and how to apply it, and just lots of cool stuff. Best way to hold a pick, picking. I don't really know too much about that kind of stuff. Troy Grady is definitely your guy for that. But what I can do is give you a guitar camera angle. Right here, look at this. Look at this guitar camera. Look at this, man. Bam. Oh, I just did the wrong thing. Dagnabbit. Why am I shrinking? I don't understand. Oh, I see. There we go. So this is basically how the clinic was. The angles, not me not knowing what I'm doing. Probably a little bit of me not knowing what I'm doing. But when I'm picking, it all depends on what you're doing. So if I'm ascending, my pick is like this. That way, it's like, I believe Troy Grady calls it downward pick slanting. Again, I've never ever thought twice about how my pick was facing. It's just kind of what I naturally did. But I pick like that, and then if I am doing like economy picking, something like that, I'll go like this if I'm ascending. If I'm descending, I turn my hand like this. See how I change the angle of the pick? I'm just kind of choosing the path of least resistance. So what I mean by that is if I'm playing a phrase or whatever it is, see my pick, it's angled like this. I'm going to exaggerate it so you can see it. Okay? But as soon as I did that, okay, watch my pick. Ascend, watch how it's slanted like this. When I descend, my hand shifts. See that? And I just kind of move up. So that's kind of how I approach a lot of that stuff. It's just a matter. Man, I wish I had a neck pickup right now. How I go through those. And there you have it. Bam. What cameras am I using? I have. This is just a. I think it's a Logitech. Web camera is the close-up, and then this camera is my normal camera that I use for videos. It's a Canon 80D, and I have my 10 to 18 millimeter lens on it. But I have a little adapter that my buddy RJ Ronquillo told me about. It's called a Cam Link. So it allows you to use your normal DSLR cameras for stuff like this. 50s Tele. Yeah, dude, the Squire Classic Vibe stuff is really, really good. That was the first Squires that ever, where I was like, all right, these are good. Everything else was real hit or miss with me in Squire, but the classic vibes, it was just like a constant. I'm like, these are good. Yep, these are good guitars. Only thing I didn't like is how thick the lacquer was on them, but you could sand that off and it'd be great. Sorry, that switch is on the fritz. Yeah. The Browns fan. Man, I'm also a Browns fan. I'm a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan. Even when I was a kid, and we didn't even have the Cleveland Browns for a while. I remember when they finally came back, and our arch nemesis, the Ravens. But anyways, yeah, it happened during the video. The neck pickup went out, so it's not a big deal. These it's probably the original switch in the thing. Drink matches your shirt. Hey, yeah, and look, who can spot this '90s movie? We've been watching movies the past couple weeks, kind of showing Mason all the old, 90s movies. We just watched Little Monsters, kind of like half watched it. If you guys know that movie, Little Monsters. We watched, what's the one with Tim Allen? Jungle to Jungle. We watched Sandlot. We watched, what other 90s movies did we watch? Mrs. Doubtfire. Lots of them, just like all the classics. And, I like seeing that he likes that stuff. And I knew you'd get it. Yeah, and then we just watched Good Burger not that long ago. Which, my shirt actually has stains on it. My wife, I don't know if she's still watching or not, she was like bleaching her hair or something and didn't realize that this was the shirt that she had on. And somewhere on there, I don't know where it is, there's like a bleach stain. Or not bleach, but like hair dye stain or whatever it is. Jumanji. We did watch Jumanji. You know what? And I actually like the new Jumanjis a lot. Well, with The Rock and Jack Black. And who's the other guy? Kevin Hart. Oh, we need to watch The Goonies. Oh, yeah. Man. Yep. We will rent The Goonies. I don't think Mason's ever seen The Goonies. I went and watched Homeward Bound back when movies had... You know what's funny that I noticed about these old movies? Because I don't want to say they're like today's movies aren't good, but a lot of the kids' movies nowadays are real... I'm trying to think of the word for it. Like soft? I don't know if that's what I want to say necessarily, but like they're just all upbeat and happy the whole movie. And we watched Homeward Bound, and I think Mason had never seen it before. And it made him cry, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. Even my eyes were getting kind of like watery in the movie. I'm like, wow, like these old movies, they have these like it just kind of takes you on a journey. I was telling him, I said, these movies have, like emotion to them. Like they really do take you on this kind of emotional ride through them, because it was the dog fell down in the hole and he was like admitting that he's too old and he can't make it, and Champ needs to go on his own. And I was just kind of like, you forget that stuff nowadays is real, almost like censored or something. So it was kind of cool, and I was like, I said it's okay, man. It's fine to feel something watching these movies. That's what they did back then. We were stuck in Jumanji now. How about some Hideaway by Freddie King? Ooh, I don't know that. I don't know any Freddie King. Bambi's mom. Hey. Yeah, lots of good movies. Did you ever check out Liquid Tension Experiment? I didn't. You know what? I did not. I remember you telling me about that, and I did not. Will you watch... Oh, I didn't know Robert Ford was doing a live stream, but I'd love to. I was just listening to him, and I stole a lick from him. I was watching him, and he did this lick, and it was so cool. This was always my favorite thing to steal from players. It wasn't necessarily like their big, crazy licks. It was like the small licks that they would do that I thought was cool and just kind of like makes you think. So Robin did this lick. I think he was out of the key of D. I can't remember what I was learning. It was a live solo. But it's kind of like out of box 5. If you guys want this. It's, like I said, it's a real simple little lick. But basically, think of box 5 in E minor. We'll do it out of E. Okay. And he went like this. He bent 12. And then he went to 10 on the B. And then 9 on the G. It was just an interesting area to do that lick at. You know, like, I mean, obviously, we've done similar licks to this. No, actually, I've never done that before. Huh, well, there's a new lick right there. But anyways, this one. So it was very simple, but those are, like, I don't know if it's just, you know, my taste changing, but those are my favorite things. I love the little, like, quirky licks to steal from them. Look with the professional. Look at that, man, dude. Production level midnight. It's getting intense here. It's all this practice for the clinics, man. I'm like ready for it. And that's the other thing. You know, I stole this lick. I saw Greg Howell Hawk do, and he did this. It's kind of like a silly lick, but I loved it. And I've been like incorporating a lot more of these kind of like, I guess I'd call them more like showman licks. You know, it just makes your playing exciting. And he did this. He went, sorry. So he bends up. It's up and down, but it's always to the same pitch. It's hard to do fast. You know, I just saw him do that, and I was like, that was cool. I'm like, what'd you do there? So I had to break it down. But that, if you watch the blues collab that I did with my buddy Shane, I started the solo off with not only a CC DeVille lick, but also a Zakk Wylde lick. So I went like this. I went, and then, you know, that thing that Zakk Wylde would do. So, discovering new licks is the best. It really is, yeah. You know, and like I said, I just like those little things nowadays. I don't spend a lot of time learning real big, long, shreddy passages that much anymore. It's more like it's the licks that typically fall in between that just seem to get the most interest out of me. Like, it probably wouldn't, you know, mean anything to anyone other than me. But a lot of times, like whenever I'm writing solos, I try to have those little moments in there. Even like the solo I just did for the song, when I went into that next part, I went, oh, sorry, what did I do? You know, it was just like the little things like that, or even from that kind kind of first standpoint where I was going through the... Like, just like the little stuff like that. It's like, that was my favorite part of the whole intro solo to that song I did, was that, you know, just the little things. I like Steel Panther. My issue with Steel Panther is I don't have a lot of opportunities to listen to it. You know, I can't really listen to them in the car with my son, or, you know, it's few and far between when I can crank up some Steel Panther. Thanks, Robert. And what mic? The mic I'm using is just, I don't even know what it is. It's a Samson G-Track. I bought it literally 10 years ago. Who even knows if they still make these things? Just some old USB condenser mic. It's definitely not the best. The 76 is going to be your main guitar. I doubt that it'll be my main. Someone was asking me to compare it to the KM. And the KM is still my main guitar. This guitar is very, very good. It has a couple of things that I wish were different on the KM, or what this guitar has. So it seems to have a little bit of a bigger neck than the KM. If you've ever played a 70s neck, they are notoriously more slim than what people think of when they play a Les Paul neck. And part of that is what I liked about these guitars. Like, these necks are very different from my 89, the gold top. So no, it's not going to replace anything. It's just more of a welcome addition. And like I said, and this one sounds quite a bit darker. Even though it has the ebony board on it, it's still darker. Like, the KM is just, like, strangely twangy. We can compare them here in a minute if you guys want to. And we'll hear them side by side. So I'll wait a minute. You guys can tell me in the chat if you want to hear the KM and the 76 together. I'm going to do like a full video on it at some point, but I don't know any Ace Frehley. Man, Hillbilly Guy, you are the king of naming the stuff that I don't know. Hey, Aiden, no worries, buddy. I know, it's good. Thank you, Big Tower. Are the Friedman necks thicker? They are. Part of what drew me to them, because I like the thickness of the necks. My brother wants to know if you could play Little Wing by SRB. Man, I can't on this guitar. I think that alarms will go off, because I'll need to use the bridge pickup. I'll switch guitars real quick, and you guys can decide if you want me to do a comparison real quick. So give me just a second, and I'll get my other stand out here in just a second. Compare them. There we go. Now the comments are starting to come in. Give me just 1 second here. Whoa! I thought the guitar was going to fall. All right. Don't even know if you guys can see me or not. There we go. Should be close enough there. So let me play Little Wing for your brother. Well, attempt to play it. You can hear me butcher it. There we go. I'm like, how do I play this song? have it. There's all your twang, if that's your thing. So, anyways, let's compare the KM to the 76. So, I wish that the neck pickup was working on the 76 right now, just so I could show you the difference, especially in this middle pickup. But cover your ears. Oh, that wasn't that bad. So anticlimactic. But here it is with a little bit lower gain. I'm going to kill the delay. The reverb must stay. That is just a law. And here's the KM. So, you know, here's the bridge pickup. Let's play the same thing on both of them. I'll play the riff from then 76. Oh, I forgot to tune down half a step. That's not even a fair comparison. What could we do? Sorry, I forgot this one was half step down. I'll play a half step. Very different. I don't know how well that translates for you guys, but over here, man, there's, like I said, this is just such a bright, snappy guitar. It's crazy, which is why I kind of decided not to put the T-tops in there, because I think it would make this one bright and snappy like the KM. And I'm like, well, just make it different. And yeah, but that's the thing. Like I said, sometimes I wish the KM sounded thicker, and this one does. So this thing is just, you know, it's thicker than a Snickers. 7608. Yeah, like I said, you know, that's why it's you know, I like to convince myself that it's justifiable to have both. But it is, it's just noticeably darker. And I'm like, well, it makes them a really good team, you know? There we go. How about the gold top? All right. Well, now you guys heard both of these. Let's hear what the gold top sounds like. I'll put the Strat Attack back. Now I haven't played this today, so I don't know if it's. Okay, so P90s. There you go. So, to me, this guitar fits perfectly between the snappiness of the KM, the darkness of the custom. The P90 is right there in between, right where you want it. Classic. Is that Gold Top a classic or original? It's just a standard. Yeah, it's just a standard. Whatever in 89, I think they were just called standards in 89. Now, obviously, the advantage of the Gold Top is the neck pickup. Sounds mean and dope. Oh, hold on. Let me turn the delay back on. I just like what the delay does to the tone so much. Why I need a Charvel satchel guitar. I know, right? I'll show you guys something that I thought was really interesting. I was talking to the channel members during the pre-show about this. Les 1257. I wish, yeah. I'd say those are out of reach forever for me, unless I wanted to get a maybe if I could find a conversion at like a crazy good price. But, you know, Gabby already I was talking to her about the conversion. Conversion's ridiculous, you know. So I totally can see her side of that. With the 8-string, no, it doesn't even. I need a battery for the pickup. What was I gonna say was that someone pointed out, and I thought it was really interesting. I was talking to the channel members about this, that someone mentioned in the video about the 76, the first video, the song. If you watch that video, the little intro jam I did was this. So there's the riff. And they're like, oh, it sounds like T for 1. I'm like, you know what? It kind of does. You know, oh, sorry. Hard riff to play. My point of this whole thing was it was just interesting for me to see, like, clearly the riff was, I was going for a Page kind of thing, but I didn't realize, like, how close to being Pagey it really was. I was like, wow, it's kind of like, it was just, you know, subconscious. I didn't realize that I was truly ripping off, you know, like a Page riff. And I'm like, when you hear them next to each other, I'm like, you can totally see the influences there. I don't know any Alice Cooper. Dwayne Allman stuff, perhaps? Oh, I don't know any Dwayne Allman. Dude, you are the king of naming stuff that I don't know how to play. Rob, do you only give lessons online? Actually, I don't. Other than guitar courses, I don't offer any online lessons. I'm starting next week doing live, what's it going to be called? what's it called? Live clinics so that you can get a ticket to. So they're going to be limited to how many people can join in on them. But I'm going to prepare a topic and have examples, backing tracks. I am going to start doing that. But I don't offer one-on-one lessons either in person or Skype anymore, unfortunately. But anyways, so that was the gold top. I can't remember who asked to hear this one compared to him. But. Quarantine be getting to us, and Robert's there with a load of guitars and have broken strings and. Oh, dude, that's such a bummer, man. Broken string on a Floyd Rose is the worst. Nicole, my playing sucked today. Fresh paper cut on my left number one finger. Oh, that's the worst. You know what? I was talking about this too, Nicole. Well, you were in the pre-show, but you know, when we were talking earlier about how I started doing these intro jams and the videos as a way to kind of get myself out of a rut. Like, I felt like my playing was really in a rut. I was really just kind of like discouraged with my own playing, and the solution for it was just writing music. Like I said, I kind of like forced myself to write these little intro jams, because I don't even remember the ones I've written so far, but certain ones, even like Gabby heard the one day, she's like, oh, I really like that one, you know, you should, you know, kind of keep working on that and evolve it into a full song. The one, it kind of had a Pink Floyd sound, I did it on the Dan Electro. You know, whatever the pattern was, but that was kind of cool. I don't know any Clutch. My buddy definitely knows a bunch of their songs, though. Maybe you should. I had a breakthrough. Maybe I should play more. You know, I try to play as much as I can. You know, some days you just have to put the guitar down and walk away from it a little bit, though, just because, you know, some days it's just not happening. At least that's the way it works for me. Jack and Diane. I thought that too. Whenever I played it, I was like, it's kind of like this Pink Floyd meets Jack and Diane. Because what happened was, if you go back and listen to that video, like I said, it has the orange Dan Electro on the cover of it. I had a phaser on it. And then that was how that one went. Hold on a second. There we go. I need to change these strings. Foreigner. Come on, baby, you do more than dance. Well, I'm hot-blooded, hot-blooded. I'm sorry. I don't know the chords to that part. I know, right? Well, like I said, these strings, I need to change them. And I just haven't had time to yet. But, honest, kid you not, the thing has not went out of tune until now. Mama Whiskey have Schaller tuners, original Gibson branded ones? Oh, that's a good question. What are these? I think these are Gibson branded. Yeah, these are Gibson. It's funny. So these are Gibson branded. My KM, I don't know if you guys can see my hand or not. My stupid thing's in the way. There we go. My KM has Grovers on it, oddly enough. And then the 89 has Gibson Deluxe tuners on it. So I actually don't have anything with Schallers. Hillbilly Guy, who do you think is the best guitarist associated with the Les Paul? Just trying to think, like, the best goes a lot of different ways. You know, for me, like, the biased answer is to default and go to Jimmy Page. But, you know, I don't want the bias of me just, you know, loving Jimmy Page to get in the way of that. Because I think Page is, you know, he's like my number 2 guitar player ever. But other guys with the Les Paul, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of guys who have played them and who aren't playing them now. I mean, like, Clapton played Les Paul for a while, played an SG, Jeff Beck, Robin Ford. Oh my God, there's so many guys. But I get what you're saying. I don't know, man. You know? I guess, like, instinctually, without thinking about it, Page is who I went to. But then, you know, like, young Zakk Wylde or someone like that also comes to mind. Les Paul, yeah, exactly, Les Paul himself. Can I play anything from Van Halen 1? I used to know most of the songs from Van Halen 1. Probably don't know them the best anymore. How's it go? Sorry about that. Yeah, I think the nut just needs to be lubed. I noticed on this particular one, those strings are sitting really low. This guitar could probably benefit greatly from just an entirely new nut. The strings are real low in it. Come on, fire! Yeah. Said do more with less. Yeah. You out here, Ryan? Take it easy. Probably got a copyright claim even singing Eagles. Eagles, man, tough. I'm not sure who's harder to get past on on YouTube, Eagles or Jimi Hendrix. His stuff that was why, like, on these videos about the 76, I didn't do any copyright stuff. And you notice when I did the Strat video, the first one when I got it, the Dream Guitar video, which did really, really well, I did Little Wing, which that didn't get flagged. But in the second video, I started off with Wind Cries Mary, and that one got flagged, and they took all of the revenue from that video. So man, Hendrix stuff is tough. I don't know any Brian May, I'm afraid. I've learned it on and off at different times for students, but never really for my own doing. Queen was never one of my favorite bands, to be honest. I was actually just having this conversation with my buddy Michael Nilsson. There's 3 big bands that have never really clicked with me yet, and I hope that it happens someday, because there was 4, and I'll tell you who they are, and again, they're all incredible, and I know nothing, but one of them was Jimi Hendrix. For the longest time, I didn't get it. I didn't understand why people liked him so much, until one day it just it clicked, and I started learning some of Hendrix's stuff. I'm like, whoa, I get it. Like, I understood. And then the other ones that still to this day have not heavily clicked with me are who were we just talking about? I just went brain dead. Pink Floyd. Not that I can listen to some Pink Floyd, but I'm not huge into Pink Floyd. Don't know why. Just never really clicked with me. The Beatles never really clicked with me. Again, don't know why. Don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm also an idiot. So there's that. And it's funny listening to Bukovac talk about these guys, because that's David Gilmour and the Beatles are his 2 number 1 people. And I'm like, man, and I love your playing so much. I need to listen to these guys more. But they've never clicked with me. And Queen, I probably just have never dedicated enough time to learning their stuff. But I think at one time it will. I've never been in a rush. Yeah, I've never been in any kind of rush to learn something that just didn't instantly speak to me musically. So that could be a huge fault of mine as a player, but like I said, it's just all in time. I didn't like Jimi Hendrix for years and years and years, and then one day years ago, I just learned something, and I was like, man, that was really good, and I could kind of get past the recording quality of it. That was always another really big issue for me, is just the quality of the sound. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it always has. I like Rush. Love Rush. Alex Lifeson, amazing. He's the big, 335 rock and roller. So, I still hate iced tea. Not the rap, but the drink. Steve. Yeah, and I know there's all kinds of rich, harmonic goodness tucked away in all those bands. And it just feels so much like forcing myself to learn something. And, I'm just like, well, one day it'll click, and I'll dig it, and I'll probably be like, God, I was stupid. I can't believe I wasn't learning the Beatles this whole time. But until that day comes, I'm playing AC/DC. Do you set up your own guitars? I do, if you can call what I do setting up a guitar. Because keep in mind, I know nothing about how to set up a guitar. I'm just like, I think it needs to go this way. And then I turn some stuff. The guitar's just like, I wish you knew what you were doing. The strings move a little bit. And I'm like, all right, sweet, bro. And then that's it. There's no kind of measurement system at all. I was adjusting the tailpiece on this thing, and I'm like, all right, turn this one a few times, turn this one a few times. I think I'm good. So I didn't even know how important the tailpiece was on two pneumatic bridge. It's incredibly important. Thought it just held the strings. Does all kinds of stuff. Oh. Oh. I have a hard time wanting to learn bands like that. Don't click with my ear. Yeah, that's why I am, So, it's like I said, just I would prefer to naturally get to where you're accepting of a certain band or music, regardless of again, I have an endless amount of respect for Tom Bukovac, but I still just don't. I can't get into those bands. I was talking to my buddy Brett Papa, amazing YouTube channel. I love Brett. And he was saying he was kind of that way with Pink Floyd too. And he said, then one day he's like, you need to check out this album, which I still haven't checked out yet. I need to. But he was just saying, check this out. He's like, this will get you into Pink Floyd. I'm like, okay, cool. So I need to do that. Just joined, no worries. We'll be here for a while. Since you don't like the Beatles, do you like the song Let It Be? I'm not trying to bash or anything, but I just think it's one of the greatest songs ever written. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not like I don't like certain Beatles songs. Like, by all means, they have tons of songs, but I don't own any of their music. That's kind of the way that I view a lot of it. Is like, do I own any of the music? And if I don't, it's not that the band's not incredible, but I've never actively sought it out. I love like CCR and stuff like that, and I don't know why like CCR's recording quality never fazed me. I don't know if it's just because I grew up hearing CCR, but like I love that stuff. Oh. Why are you still awake? 'Cause you're ready to rock, man. I can't remember Caffeine. I can't remember what album Brett recommended. I'll have to text him and find out. That's a good, yeah, as you get older, your style will mellow out. I bet it will, like my style has mellowed out so much from when I was, teenager and all that. Like you said, I was in like, hardcore metal bands. So I was listening to a lot of like Born of Osiris and, Winds of Plague, like, in my opinion, pretty heavy bands. And August Burns Red. What should I listen to? Lots of heavy stuff, Oh man, what's the one? There's crazy drums. I can't think of the name. But I don't listen to any of that stuff anymore. I don't even listen to like Metallica and Megadeth. Like that's like heavier than anything I listen to now. Play the greatest riff ever written. There's a lot of them, man. I don't know if I know the number one greatest riff. I'll show you, I think, one of the coolest riffs ever written. We're talking about CCR. Who can name that song? I need a different guitar. I need that neck pickup. As I smack the KM. This must be like Les Paul night. Turn some of that distortion off too. And that half step down was killing it for me. What's the song? Oh, sorry, hold on. I keep messing it up. Not Born on a Bayou. There you go. Better run through the jungle. What a killer riff. Ah, it's so good. I got a lot of that CCR in my playing, man. I just listen to so much of it. Wow. There we go. I've been playing half step down on all my guitars. Playing in standard sounds weird. It's still a little bit out. There we go. Just a tiny bit flat. Does rock have a chance of mainstream? Maybe. I mean, who knows? You know, taste can change. Oh, sorry. You know what? I'll play you the greatest riff ever written. I do have the greatest riff ever written. By someone on music because I play punk, but I don't listen to it every day. How would you advise someone on music? I guess I'm not sure I understand your question. How do I advise someone on music because you play punk every day, you know, but you don't listen to it every day? I'm not sure. But I'll play you the greatest riff ever written. Are you ready for it? I play it all the time, so regulars will know this. But this is unquestionably. I'm just joking. You can question if you want to. This is the best riff ever. Best riff ever written. No contest. It's so good. You out here, buddy? Thank you for tuning in, man. Funny because it just sounds like CCR. Maybe it's the other way. I don't know who was first. I don't know if the Hollies or CCR were first, but But yeah, man, that is, I think, just, God, one of the coolest riffs ever. Is right there. Bam. Born on a bayou. I'm doing a John Fogerty video here soon. So I need to go back and actually, like, I haven't, actually sat down and made sure I was playing any of those songs right in 10 years. Josh, I was playing Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress by the Hollies. If you haven't listened to the Hollies, man, just listen to the Hollies in general. Amazing riffs. I was just watching a documentary today on the Wrecking Crew. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, I think Joe Perry is one of the best, riff writers ever. Brad Whitford, incredible. CCR makes me want to have a picnic or something. Yeah, kind of, huh? Ooh, that's another. See, I was talking how I wasn't really into bands. Pink Floyd, Beatles, all that kind of stuff. Have never been into Black Sabbath. And then a couple years ago, this is a more recent one that happened. I finally, started learning some. I can tell you exactly when it happened, when I got into Black Sabbath. It was at GitCon, whenever I was jamming with Phil X on stage. We're jamming, and in the middle of, it was just an improvised jam. He went into War Pigs, which I didn't know any Black Sabbath other than the version of Iron Man that you learn. And never learned any of their stuff. And you go into War Pigs, so I was basically learning War Pigs by watching Phil play it on the spot. I don't even know if that's how you play that. But, I'm in drop D, that's why it sounds so weird. And it was when I heard the riffs with a modern amp and modern distortion, it clicked with me for some reason. I was like, oh my god, these riffs are so cool. And then, went and learned a bunch of Tony Iommi stuff. And then one of my favorite Iommi riffs is, there's a song, it's not a real popular one, but it's called Rat Salad. It's so good. So that was the moment that that Black Sabbath clicked for me, and I started learning a bunch of the Sabbath stuff, and it was and now I love them. But like I said, you just have to wait on those moments whenever the band clicks for you. Van Halen's original name. Well, they had a couple original names. So Van Halen was originally called Mammoth, was one of their first names. And then they were called Genesis for a while. And then they found out there was another band over in Europe called Genesis, obviously. That was before, Phil Collins was fronting it. It's all Peter Gabriel. But, yeah, so they were Mammoth, and then they were Genesis, and then they were Van Halen. I think Mick Mars is one of the best riff writers. I love him. All of a sudden, rip you some vibrato. Dude, let's vibrato it up. Let's do it. Nice and out of tune after that one, huh? I think my goal tomorrow is going to be to put strings on this thing. Strings are just old and worn out. Some good CCR songs. The only time I've ever listened to them is having them played Proud Mary and Guitar Center's Proud Mary Keep On Running. God, you could, I mean, CCR songs? Oh my God. I mean, learn Susie Q, learn Running Through the Grapevine, which is a cover, but learn Green River, you know, Fortunate Son, Born on a Bayou, Run Through the Jungle, what other ones? I mean, learn some of their chiller songs, you know, like Ever Seen the Rain, Sit on Your Back Porch. What other? Learn Load, Stuck in Load Again. It's another one. Hey Tonight. What other good CCR songs? I mean, like, they're all good. They're all great. Just get, what's the name of the album? Whatever Factory. I can't remember the name of the album. But, shoot, can someone help me out? What's the name of the CCR album that I'm thinking of? Cannot think of the name of it. It's going to drive me crazy. I have not changed. No, these are the same strings that came on it, so that's why it's going out of tune really bad. And hopefully someone will know. There's an album you should get. I mean, you should get all the CCR stuff. The last album, you don't need to get. But, you know, the one I'm thinking of, something Factory. I can't think of it. Cosmos Factory. Get Cosmos Factory. If you just get a Cosmos Factory, then you're gonna get a good dose of CCR. And just how good John Fogerty is. I think he's one of the most like underrated guitar players ever. Like, John Fogerty is an amazing guitar player, amazing songwriter, amazing guitar player, amazing singer. Man. There's like the next thing was coming back. Out of tune again. So I think we'll say goodnight to the 76 for now. Like I said, I need to put strings on it. They are just on their last leg. But you'll be seeing a lot of this Bad Mama Jamma right here. Live on YouTube. Gold top back over here real quick. Okay. I've been watching all those Fogerty videos on YouTube. I love it. Yep, I've loved all of them. Hey, they just did Green River today, actually. Grab the 335 here in a minute. We'll play. You're right, it is lonely back there, right? I never did get an Elvis, you know. He's another one I've never had that connection with to kind of get into. I'm gonna switch and go to a whole different tone. Oh my God, Joe Walsh, incredible. Of course, dude, as an Ohio guy, you have to like Joe Walsh. If you don't, I don't even know if we can be friends. Oh my God, I can't. Before I switch, for one, thank you for the super chat, Sam. Before I do that, can I play Black Magic? Black Magic on the Strat? That's, I don't even know. I don't know if my hands can handle it. Nope. Try it again. Into the giant run. Oh man. There we go. Why not? It's hard to play on the Strat because the frets are so low. The frets are just really worn out in this area, and that song's all right here. So it's hard to play just because the frets are so low. Certain Texas already open. Yeah, a lot of our stuff has started opening up as well. So, I'm actually getting ready to shave. So, I was doing a contest with my buddy. I was like, challenge, you can't shave your face until, the coronavirus stuff is over. Not that it's over, we're a long way from being over, but now that stuff's opening up, I'm like, all right, I can shave at last. Black Magic. Yep, oh, Sam's got you. Yeah, it's a Red Beach song off of his Cutting Loose DVD. So hard to play up there on this guitar. Although, to be honest, the 335 is way more fitting to play Cliffs of Dover on because it was recorded on a 335. A lot of people don't know that. But it was. It's true. Those are actual factuals. The only thing on that song that is Strat is the main solo. Eric punched in. Tune this puppy up. I haven't played the 3/4 bar recently. Hands are not liking the vibrato on this one. I can't remember how it goes. Along those lines. Too good. If you like the sloppy version of it, you have come to the right place. I can play the sloppy version of Cliffs of Dover all night long. Here in California, everything's still closed. I know, man. It's crazy. I haven't played this guitar, I gotta get used to it. The greatest metal guitars of all time is? That I don't know. I don't think I know enough metal guitar players, to be honest. I don't actually know how to play Johnny B. Good. I do electric, but I should learn it. Woo! Electric Gypsy? Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh, there we go. How does that go? Yeah. Something with that funky tapping going on. Been a long time. I learned it like at one point, I think one time, and then I never played it again. But it's really cool. It's got the whole tapping thing from Women in Love, whatever those tap harmonics that Eddie does. Which I obviously never practiced enough. Can't remember the lyrics either. What's the best way to play those tap harmonics? Well, I don't have the right tone for it. But basically, what you're doing is you're playing the exact same thing that you're playing 12 frets up, and you're tapping. So like when you do like the Women in Love. I'm mirroring everything that I'm doing, but I'm just 12 frets up, so I'm on 7, 7 and 9. Tune up real quick. So then just add 12 to that, and then there you go. Always the G. But yeah, so then when I'm tapping, if you notice I'm tapping 19. When I go to 9, I tap 21. And that's open. So when it's open, I tap 12. He does it a bunch. He does it in a bunch of songs. I love the way 335 sound. Just it has 11 gauge strings on it, so my fingers are kind of like, what you trying to do over there? What you doing, boy? The delay it helps a lot with the tap stuff. And distortion. And basically what happens is you don't tap the fret, you tap the fret bar. So when I'm tapping 19 up here, I don't hit right where I would normally fret it. You hit the fret between 19 and 20. And so you get that same thing that Andy Timmons is doing. However he does it. Just some guys. See you next time. Oh yeah, guitar cam. Oh, that was I made a mistake. That was the wrong thing to do. There we go. Yeah, so you can see when I'm doing it, I'm just going. You know what's funny though? Like, so I can do normal tapping, and I use my middle finger for that. So if I'm just doing like a normal like lick, you know, whatever it is. But for like the tapped harmonics, I have to use my pointer finger. I have to put my pick down and do the whole thing. I don't know why. It's like I don't have control of my hand when I try to do that with my middle finger. But this isn't exactly the tone that I like the best with this, with the 335. No, where's it at? Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on a second. Let me regain where all of this stuff is at. Bam. Here we go. And then this tone I like a lot with the 335. It's really like big sounding. But I gotta turn the distortion down. These pickups are just so hot. So on. See the guitar? Yeah, definitely the Carlton influence. Thing with learning some Guns N' Roses songs. Any tips on ways to get better at learning stuff like that? You know, the biggest thing I've always ever done with learning stuff is I just break it down into small chunks. You know, that's really what has always worked for me. And hey Zach, I don't know if I said hi or not, but it's just real small pieces of it, and I just, until I get that small piece down, I don't move on. What pubs would I suggest for my Epiphone Les Paul Custom? Mine needs an overhaul. I don't know, because if it's humbuckers, I really don't. I mean, it depends. Like I like the Fishman pickups I have in my Cronus a lot, but I also like if you're looking for something hotter, I like these Dirty Fingers as well. There actually is no noise gate on this setting. Sorcino. I like him a lot. Yeah, I don't know any of his stuff, but have you heard of Marcus King Band? Uses an ES345. I've heard the name before, but I can't say that I've listened to them per se. How hot is hot? These pickups are hot. I think they measure in around 15. Well, I'll show you how hot they are. So listen to this for a second. Listen to this tone, and then I'll switch to my Les Paul, which has lower output pickups. and then I'll switch to the Strat. So you can just figure out same distortion. So I have, you know, the distortion. I have the distortion pedal off, and the amp distortion is at 5 right now, or like noon. Okay. Actually, that's not going to fall over. And then here it is with a lower output pickup. Okay, and then back to the 335. Both tuned to standard. Kind of not fair because the 335 is just so much fatter sounding than the Les Paul. And like I said, this has 11 gauge strings on it, so a little bit heavier. Hotter pickups than a Les Paul. It does, though. So this particular 335 is kind of interesting. So these have what's called dirty finger pickups in there, and the Les Paul has what's called T-tops. Now, the reason why this one is kind of odd, if you ever get a chance, it's kind of like just like cool to look into the backstory of a guitar. So this is what's called a 335 Pro, and they were only made for 3 years. So they were made in 79, 80, and 81. And the reason why these are different is they are made geared towards rock guitar players completely, like heavier rock, for, you know, just kind of what was going on in the 70s. And they put these really hot the dirty finger pickups, in these particular models of 335s. A normal 335 is not going to have a hot pickup like this. That's just this particular one happens to have that. So that's why, and you're totally right. I said normally a Les Paul would have a hotter pickup per se than a 335 nowadays. But in this particular instance, just this one happens to be a weird ball. Yeah, like I said, and I can roll the gain down even more, and it starts to sound more like a 335. Yeah, like I said, they both have their place. I've always wanted a TV yellow guitar. I love that color. Like maybe like a TV yellow studio or something. I don't know if they ever did like a normal, like basically like a standard or something like that. But yeah, like a TV yellow studio I think would be really cool. if you want to really hear the difference between low output and high output, listen to these pickups. And then listen to the difference when you go to like a Strat. Even though the Strat's tuned a half step down, you'll be able to hear the difference when you go to a true low output pickup. And anyway, it's basically almost like a clean tone. I don't really know any jazz stuff, I'm afraid. I never liked Strats in my youth. Yeah, they're super low output, but once you add a little bit of gain to them, they start to wake up, you know? And then all of a sudden, it's not that kind of wimpy sound anymore. You've got a nice... Like I said, and then that's where to me the Strat comes alive, is this kind of tone. You know, or turn this down and turn on the drive. Get a little bit more mids back into your sound. Crank those mids. Oh, thank you, Mario. Thank you for the super chat. Put more gain. Yeah, like, it's funny you say that. I was just doing it. So then, like I said, here's like a higher gain on the Strat, and thank you, Joss. Oh, Stefan, thank you so much for the super chat and all the love. Oh, hold up. That's so funny. Thought I was on a different tone than I was. I must have switched back at some point. This is the tone I was trying to go for. I was like, it doesn't sound full like it normally does. There we go. What about grabbing a tele and giving us some Waylon? Oh man, I wish I knew some Waylon Jennings. I don't know any like proper telly stuff. I just play rock on everything. That's all I know. That's all I got. And I'd maybe turn the gain down a little bit on this. But if you want to hear the direct audio, here's just, you know, no room mic involved. That was such a guess. But anyways, there it is, direct. So. I don't even know how many people are still even watching. Wow, 297 people. That's crazy. Guitar again a few years back, came across your channel and has been super helpful. Oh well, Adrian, I'm so happy to hear that, man. Not only that you're, you know, back to playing the guitar, but that, you know, anything on the channel was helpful. Not just the guitar, Robert. You know exactly how to build an awesome tone. Oh well, thank you, Preston. Dynamics or something else. Oh, dude, thank you. That's certainly something that, you know, as I age as a player, you know, I don't know if my dynamics are any good or not, but I certainly found myself realizing how dynamic my favorite players really were with their notes, and it made me kind of like, you know, buckle down a lot and remember, I'm like, hey, you need to like focus on this stuff. So. I'm just gonna play for a minute. Sorry, not to bore you guys, but I just want to mess around with this for just a second. I don't know if I have the skills, but I do like the way the guitar sounds. Fan of Lee. I've never heard of him, I'm afraid. Tone is fantastic, like I said. Didn't care for Strats to their device, but now that I'm older, yeah, I love. Well, I guess I've always been a Strat guy, so always been a Strat guy. But it wasn't until someone commented one time a while back that they're like, "Oh, I guess you're a Les Paul guy now," and I never realized. I'm like, I think I've kind of like. I don't, I just play whatever guitar is inspiring. It's not so much like one or the other, but I was like, what? It kind of did, like the whole like Les Paul thing just kind of like crept up on me. Once I found the ones that I liked, I think that was my issue before. I just didn't have ones that I liked. Dude, nice Strat. We'll have to wait. Yeah, but like I said, they're all so different. There more of those stolen Tom Bukovac licks. That chord, he did this chord one time. I don't know what it's called. But I was like, oh, that sounds really good, especially if you add like the fifth back in there. Blues by Raikuda. I wish, man. What a great song. Amazing song. Oh, Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys putting up with the tunes. I need to do like one of my intro jams next week. I want to do like a more chill tune. Weirdest one I've ever seen recently was a Japanese Tesco and had a series switch. You always fight with the switch when playing a Strat. Yeah, I said I did a video about that recently. What lesson my Strat taught me, and I've learned to kind of, since I've been playing more Strat, to kind of get my hands back in line. sound of all your guitars, but that Strat is good. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, this is a very, very, very special guitar to me. I love it. You know, I love it as I switch to a different guitar. It, like I said, you know, that guitar just, I don't know, man. It just, it's the physical form of so many, like, things for me. Like, you know, it's a guitar I've waited so long to own, and I just, when I play it, like, it's the only guitar I keep in a case. You know, I don't believe in keeping guitars in cases. I like to have them all out. That's the only one I keep in a case. You know, I don't know. It's just like I said, it's just a very special guitar to me. It just represents a lot of different things. And this one is a very different sound. Like I said, if you want to hear how different guitars sound, different in a good way, bad way, you know, everyone's gonna hear it in their own way. You can hear your own way, hear your own way. But yeah, like I said, it's just nice to have them. Oops, sorry. It's just nice to have them, you know. Wow. See, that's my favorite thing in the world is when you go to play something that you normally play and you mess it up and you come up with something even cooler. If you were in the live clinic earlier today for the Rock and Roll Boot Camp, we did this lick. This lick right here. It's part of the clinic. And real quick, like I said, if you were in there, try this. So if you're doing it out of the key of E, instead of getting the note like what we were doing, get your flat 5. How cool does that sound? Try we're on the bridge pickup. Yeah, they're real close. I mean, it's right there. It's really good if you know how to do like the. I can't do it because I never practiced it, but. Awesome measures. Trust me, 90% of my mess ups are not very awesome. Now I'm ashamed even more than I was before. No. Oh, low battery warning. Thank you, Big Red Tower. And everyone else who caught that. Let's switch that. Don't mind me. Just knocking over phones. Alright, now you should still be able to hear me. The real challenge is if the camera even turns back on at all. And it did. Moment of truth. How'd they go? Very superstitious. Something like, isn't that it? It's similar. Obviously, it's not played on guitar, but trying to do the Nuno thing. Hey, what's up? Playing is that good? Oh, I don't know about that, hillbilly guy. What up? Hey, Bam, what's up? Jam along with? Yeah. I think it's important to practice to a metronome. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a metronome is really all you need to practice. Like, think about it. This is how I used to practice. Like, you know, before I had drum machines and all that kind of stuff. I'll show you what I would do. If I can find what do I do with my metronome app? Oh, here it is. And it was all you needed. you know. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear that while I play, but you know, that was just it. That was your drummer. So like, and you know, and then I would just pick random keys, and you can practice like speed stuff to a metronome. Here, I'll do this so you can see my hands better. You know, do your speed stuff. Whatever the lick is, that's just like a random thing I'm making up right now. But, you know, already, you know, do it different, like 8th note, 16th note, you know. Mess around with it. But then also, it's a drummer. Like I said, you know, you could sit there and like, we'll pick any key. Like, we'll do B. Both at the same time. But like I said, that's really all you need. Like, that was it. That was my whole backing track practicing as a kid. Because this is, you know, pre-YouTube, so I didn't have backing track. The only backing tracks I had, well, they came in a Guitar One magazine. I got 5 backing tracks one time. And that was all I had, you know, for like 5 years. That was it. And I listened to CDs and jam along with them. Oh, Adrian, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that very, very much. And this was it. And what happened was, for one, it made me use my thumb. You notice I use my thumb over the neck a lot because, like I said, I needed to be my own rhythm section. So let's say, like, let's change the tempo. Let's go fast. That was 90 BPM. So, again, I'm not sure if you guys... Sorry. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the click while I'm playing. But I would just do this. And if you notice, I'll start playing, I'll solo, and I don't even need to go back to the chords. I just try to keep soloing with the rhythm and groove. That way I can bounce back into the chords anytime I want to. So let's do different key. Well, we'll do B again, but I'll just do different riffs. A little bit quicker there. Let's do the one slower again, but I'm gonna change keys. I'm gonna repeat myself too much. Like key of G, down here. Well, the wrench, this just means that you're soulless moderator. The wrench are the moderators. They have all the power. I'm thankful to have such good moderators. Sam and Big Red Tower always do such a good job. Like I said, but I would just, I just did that for hours, and it was always fun. Wait a second. See, birthday? Here's your 52nd birthday. Oh man, I butchered it there at the end. I didn't mean to. Happy B-Day. Hey, did you know it is your birthday today? Yeah, yeah. Nope. Hey, did you know it's your birthday today? Hey, did you know it's your... Nope. Hey, did you know... Hey, did you know it's your birthday too? Nope. Birthday too. I can't think of it if I know. Hey, did you know it's your birthday today? Oh. Hey, did you know it's your birthday too? Hey, did you know it's your birthday too? There we go. Hey, did you know it's your birthday today? Hey, did you know your birthday today? Hey, did you know your birthday today? Oh man. Copyright strike. Why once I was right, of course, but I didn't win that. Yeah. No. No, it's pretty simple. You know, on here, I think that we run an easy show. Just be nice. I don't allow any kind of like self promotion, like saying like, oh, check out my channel or any of that stuff. Not to be a jerk. It's just because I hold you know, I have a lot of respect for you guys, and I just don't want someone using the platform that we've built to try to like pull people to their channel without knowing if their channel is, I guess, without knowing the person. I only recommend channels and stuff that I know, you know, from people who are new or good, just good people that I like and that I think you guys would like. So, you know, it's never to be a jerk, but you know, to look out for everyone. I don't like that stuff going on. Oh. I never learned the Hendrix version. That's how it starts out, though. I don't want to butcher that song. That's an important and good song to have. Don't Don't you have a light up guitar? Like, oh, you have to light your guitar on fire. Yeah. I don't have a Vox. I don't have any Vox amps. Such a symbol of time. Exactly. Yeah. I don't mess around with that one too much. I don't know it the best anymore, so I don't want to be disrespectful and plunk around on that one. But any other questions for you guys? That was kind of cool. Whatever that was. Oh, is it Mr. Solers? Am I saying that right? Dude, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Soundproof? Yeah, I've got a lot of soundproofing. I get asked that question a lot. The one big advantage I have is just that the walls are really thick here. Blue Acacia, Super Strat. Forget its name. The one that was like my signature guitar, that one's not here right now. Hopefully that one will be back here soon. It's been gone for a while. All blue one. I do have that one as well. The input jack is messed up on that one, which that guitar has something cool going to be going on with it here real soon. Fender, Meteor, or Parallel Universe Series. I have not. I've not played any of those. I'm getting some Devon. Ooh. I wish our stores were open, man. Does my wife get mad at you playing Slade? No, not at all. I hope she has no what to do with it. SRV or Hendrix riffs, Hendrix solos, SRV for me. I've really gotten into the fuzz tones. Looking for something. This one sounds good. If I go to, what's the fuzz pedal that I like? Here we go. I like the octave stuff a lot. Not a bad riff. I kind of hear like the start of that one, like maybe not quite that low. One part of the. First guitar was kind of like a Strat copy. What's your intros recently? Introducing your 76 system a few times. That riff and solo tone are gorgeous. Intro recently introducing the 76 system. Was it the riff that went like this? Let me turn this off for a second. Oh, nope, not that. I wonder which. Here we go. Was it the one that had this riff in it? The. There was that one, and then the other video had this intro, which was obviously on the Les Paul, not on this one. Oh, wrong effect, sorry. I'm like, that sounds weird. And the other one is, to kill all that. That one was a lot of fun. I liked that one. And then the next riff was I thought was really fun. Like I really liked it. I think my guitar went out too. What was the other riff? Can't remember the solo at all. Man, what was the solo to that song? Oh, I remember, yeah, because oh. kept butchering that lick. I had to like, that was like a, I don't remember how many takes it took me because I would try to go into it. But yeah. It sounds so different from your Strat. Yeah, it sounds way different. You know, it's a whole different beast. That's why, like I said, you know, I don't like to have a lot of like copy guitars like that are exactly the same. Now it might be a Strat body, that's a Strat. It's like the two Les Pauls, but like as we saw earlier, they sound different. You know. What guitar would you recommend with a Floyd? Depends on your budget, really. You can get some old Sharp Elves, and I think that they hold up great, you know, that aren't like crazy expensive. How's it going, buddy? China Guitar Skeptic, CGS in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, buddy? Doing good, man. Doing good. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. Butchering it. Until my hands are finally slowing down from getting tired. Nice and out of tune. All right. Let's we're going to wrap things up here. We'll go back where we started. 76 to end the night. There we go. Didn't go out of look. Didn't go out of tune after all that. I was hoping the neck pickup would suddenly work. Let's see real quick here how it sounds with that octave that I liked. Almost like it should be like a drop D. Is that just a Rush song? Am I like doing a heavier version of a Rush song? it kind of lost that rushiness to it. Man. You might end up seeing that next week. That's not a bad drop D. Just kind of like a grit your teeth kind of riff. Sorry, I know that was just a bunch of me babbling on guitar, but I'm trying to stretch my back. But it would kind of like I would want it to start. It would need something on the front end of that. Hit it. And almost kind of like I can hear like over top of it just like a roll. And then all of a sudden it would just come in. Oh man, I can hear it. Down, down. I can hear. I want it lower. Down, down, down. There we go. I can hear like the solo, like just like I'm gonna. Almost like a Zakk Wylde kind of, some kind of fat like. Nope. Then it just down, down, down. Man. I think we got it. I think we just wrote one of next week's intro jams. I think we just did the whole thing. It's got to be something now. Oh man. There we have it. Like I said, and it just starts out with that. Hey Shane. That'd be kind of cool. Almost like a... Who does a lick like that? Sorry. If this is like super boring, I can just end the stream now. I don't expect you guys to listen to this, but it's just kind of like I can hear the stuff happening, and it's 3 a.m. and I had coffee. So, you know, like, what I'm trying to think. It might be a dime bag solo. Just kind of where there's this fast lick happening. If I'm trying to make this up on the spot, so I'm not going to play it right, but... My hands are getting tired, but... down, 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 then... I gotta do the solo. Oh, there we go. It's getting heavy. Maybe even high coffee. Yeah, maybe even some kind of like. Was really loud. The neck pickup's working. I'm so excited. Gotta use it while we can. It is check it out. Like if you're just tuning in, the neck pickup quit working on this guitar yesterday. I think we rocked it into working. Which is what I wanted for that solo. There we have it. I know it had to, and that's the exact sound I wanted for the solo. I wanted the neck pickup. I wanted that smoothness of the fast attack. Anyways. Figured I'd use the sick riff has awoken the beast. It lives. How funny. But yeah, I'm telling you, listen next week. That'll be one of the intro jams for sure. Question is, can I go to the bridge and back to the neck and it still works? So happy inside right now. Caffeine. Yeah, I don't even know where this riff came from. Oh, I remember because I was just like, oh, it needs to be tuned down to drop D, and then whatever the other riff I was playing, I just played something completely different. It turned into this. Wow, listen to how different the guitar sounds. That's crazy. Since this pickup started working, listen to how much high end it added. It did sound really dark before. That's funny. Huh. That's crazy. It changed the way the guitar sound. It sounds so much brighter now. Do I have any modal lessons? I don't. I don't have too much of that stuff because I don't know if I'm like qualified enough to teach that stuff. I just know how it makes sense to me in my head, and I don't know if it's like the best way to like teach that stuff. Like the song I did the other day. Like now, oh look, now I can do it. Give me just a second. How funny. So pumped up that pickup started working. Like the riff I did the other day, like that's all Mixolydian, so that's like modal playing. Even when like when the main part comes in, the shame it's the wrong key to add. I know, right? It is the wrong key. Yeah, Rick is more than qualified to teach that stuff. I go live every Saturday at midnight. Oh. All right, you out of here, Corey? I think I gotta get out of here too. It's 3:30 a.m. So just your classic 3.5 hour live stream. Like I said, today's been a long day of being live. I was live for an hour and a half this morning for the clinic. I was live 30 minutes before this, so I've been live a total today of 5 hours. I'm on a Gibson high. Gotta get a Gibson. Gibson life. Then you gotta get a Fender. Then you got, Oh, I don't know that one. Hillbilly guy, you are the master at picking stuff that I don't know. Even from my favorite artists. Yeah, it was 5.5 hours today. So I've been live for 5.5 hours, combined at different times. So, long day. Take care. Yes, have a great night, everyone. Take care. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcoming. If you didn't hear it already, the guitar's name, in short, the main name that it'll be going by is Mama Whiskey. And then it's like alter ego name is Paula Marie, but AKA, mainly this guitar will be called Mama Whiskey. Got class, see ya. Yep, have a great night. If you guys haven't checked out yet, In the Blues, check out my buddy Shane's channel. And he invited me to do this really cool blues jam, even though I don't play blues. But check out the video, man. There's some smoking players on there. And thank you, Sam. Thank you, Big Red Tower, as always, for hanging out and helping, just being awesome. My buddy Mike, of course. Zach, Adrian, Arthur, Stefan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday one more time. Hillbilly guy. Always stumping me with the songs. One of these days, we'll get on the same wavelength. I'll know the song. Must not sleep. I'm still playing. Bam, Terry, John, Bryden, Galen, Polish Hammer, Saul. I'm missing anyone? Zach. I think I said Zach already, but I'll say it again. Browns fan. My fellow Browns fan. Oh, you. Classic Sam. Cut it, man. Such a great part. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you everyone who super chatted. Sorry, I was reading the chat a little bit. Like I said, stay tuned next week. I'll be announcing those live clinics that are going to happen. They will be limited to who can do that. Now that we've officially done one, I know what I'm kind of getting into. And next week, I will be officially announcing the first one and the time frame to kind of sign up for it. So other than that, guys, have a great night. I am going to officially click off of this stuff, so I'll put the guitar down and finally go to sleep. But just have a great day and a great night, everyone. Later, homies. Wood. Yeah, bloop bloop. See you Monday. Stuff like that. Bye, guys.